This is Jay Donovan from CrunchGear. We're at South by Southwest 2011. I'm here with Rob Veras and Laura Chambers. Rob is from Red Laser, Laura is from PayPal. And we're going to just talk a little bit about payments, what's going on in the industry, and let's hear from them what their strategy is for 2011 and beyond. So the first question is, today in your panel you were talking about how a lot of people are shopping. This is for you, Laura. A lot of people are shopping at lunchtime and in these small segments of time. So I'm wondering if that is your strategy for mobile makes that even easier for people because they may not even have to be at their desk. They may be doing it at lunch. They may be doing it wherever. And so the question is, do you think that's the future of shopping?
So I think that there's two places where people can use their mobile phones to shopping. The first is sort of on their down times. So this might be at your lunch break sitting at a cafe, it might be sitting on the couch at home in the evenings, or it might be sitting on the bus on your commute into work. And so that's what we call remote commerce. And so that's really what's taken off to date. And obviously you can do that through the eBay app or all that kind of stuff. It's a really tremendous experience. The new wave of mobile shopping is really when you're in a store or around a store. And that's the really exciting area of innovation that's just starting to take off now. So you can walk into a store, you can scan the barcode of an item that you're interested in, and you can see price comparison. And eventually what will enable you to do is just buy from that merchant right there and then take the mobile receipt with you into the store. So it's that new area of taking your mobile phone with you while you're walking around the stores, or even finding great deals nearby to you that I think is going to be the area of big innovation over the next year or so.
Okay. And Rob, the next question is for you. Lots of people are using barcodes these days. It's really catching on. And so what are the best practices that you guys have developed or subscribed to for doing this? And could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so especially with QR codes, I think it's early days, and we're still figuring out what are the best mechanisms for using them in driving engagement and driving conversion and reaching your audience. And so one thing that with the Lupe Fiasco promotion that we did, there was an offer on the other side of that QR code that really appealed to his fans. And so, and then he promoted it through his social media channels and reached out to those fans. And I think that's what drove the success of that campaign. I think if you just put a sort of static ad on the other side of the QR code, it's not engaging and you're not going to get great results from that. So I think it's really understanding what your consumers want and delivering that on the other side.
Okay. Laura, PayPal is a financial institution, so I wanted to know, how do you all balance the caution that typically a financial institution will have with innovation in order to push the boundaries and keep moving forward? So what is PayPal's strategy for that?
So obviously security is incredibly important to us. We've invested a significant amount of time and money in developing risk models and ensuring that all of our protocols are very secure and ensuring that the PayPal experience is just a place you know you're going to be safe and your financial information will never be at risk. That is just the platform of everything that we do. What we're doing with mobile is we're innovating on top of that platform. And because mobile is such a great new technology, because we're not beholden to any old products and so forth, we can move incredibly quickly. But each time that we're bringing out these new experiences, we're tapping into that very secure foundation, which is what PayPal's made of.
Okay, so they coexist together, is what you're saying.
And I think, there's also an interesting element of that, which is around consumer experience. So what we found with our consumers is that some of them are very, very oriented about security on mobile devices, and some of them are very, very oriented around convenience. And so what we've developed, obviously on top of our secure foundation, we're allowing people to have some choice about the amount of authentication they need to go through for each transaction. So some people would love to stay logged into their device all day and just be able to check out with one click. Some people would rather be able to be logged out almost instantly and have to go through a couple of hurdles to authenticate just for that extra feeling of security. But what we're finding is so long as your platform is secure, you can provide a lot of choice so that consumers can really find their balance in that spectrum.
Okay, great. Well, another question is, how large are each of your divisions for mobile? How many people are working on developing these projects and pushing them forward and making them work? Rob?
Yeah, so well, with Red Laser itself, the team's very small. We operate just like a startup, and so there's only about 12 or 13 dedicated folks, and of course we have other folks within eBay that help us out as well. The greater eBay mobile team is over 100 employees, And we recently completed an acquisition of a company called Critical Path Software that grew our development team quite significantly, and so that's been great. But overall, we try to stay small and agile, and that's part of innovating and staying at the forefront.
Okay, and Laura?
So we're somewhere in between those numbers. We have a reasonably small team, but there's obviously some complexity in building into the payments platform in a secure way. So we have mostly a lot of developers and quality testers and designers and so forth. We actually use the critical path team as well. But I think it's an important balance. We don't want the team to grow too fast because I think you add in a lot of complexity into the way that you do work. So we're keeping pretty streamlined and pretty nimble so that we can move as fast as the market's moving.
Okay. Another question is, this is for you, Laura. How do regular brick and mortar locations accept PayPal? Can you just elaborate on that? Is there a POS integration that has to happen with their hardware to take it, or are there other solutions that you're coming up with?
So this is the area that's really up in the air right now. We actually have a couple of existing solutions. So one is with Bling Nation. Merchants can integrate with Bling Nation, and consumers can just have a Bling tag, which is basically just a little sticker on the back of your phone that they can tap and use there. So that is more of a hardware point of sale integration, but with a relatively light integration for consumers. We have another feature in our application right now called Local, where you can just find merchants that are nearby you and just press a button to send money to them. So it's a very light software-oriented solution. As we look to the next year, there are lots of different competing technology standards, including NFC and so forth. So we're going to be experimenting with all of those throughout the year to see which ones really take off. And it's a combination of how easy is it for the consumers to get and how easy is it for the merchants to integrate. Because there is a lot of complexity when you start talking about point-of-sale hardware devices, when you start talking about inventory, interconnections and so forth. It's quite a complicated problem to solve, so we're going to be doing a lot of piloting and testing and working very closely both with our consumers and merchants to come up with some great solutions.
Okay, and last question, for starting with Rob, what is the message for South by Southwest that Red Laser is trying to get out there? What do you want the readers of CrunchGear to know at this time?
Yeah, so well, we're excited to be here. It's been great so far. We had a great party with Conan O'Brien on Sunday, and we had a great party later that night with Chromio, and so it was great to have fun with folks, and then it's been good to have the booth here, and we're having a lot of interesting conversations. I think what we wanted to do here is get awareness out for our brand, Red Laser, and what we do both for consumers with our shopping application and for developers. And so what a lot of people don't know is that we actually package up our technology and license it out as an SDK. We work with over 150 partners already that use our technology in their apps, and you can take our technology and innovate on top of it. And there are a lot of creative people here at South by Southwest that can do that. And then I'd say finally, similar to the program that we did with Lupe Fiasco and Atlantic Records, there are ways for brands and content partners to come and work with us to run campaigns and engage with their fans using QR codes and our app. And so obviously with the film and music festivals going on as well, we got a lot of the right people in town. So it's been great, and we'll probably be back next year.
Okay, and Laura?
So I think that the key message for us this year at South by Southwest is that mobile payments is here. It's growing incredibly quickly. There's a huge amount of innovation and change happening in this space, and it's a great time to be part of it. We're a payments platform, so we're really excited to find developers that want to integrate PayPal and merchants that want to integrate PayPal and work with them to come up with some really interesting solutions together for the opportunities that are out there.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to me. Good luck to you both. Have a great rest of the South by Southwest, which is like today, which is over today. So, okay.
Thank you.